Testing, testing. Testing, testing. All right. All right, Shalom Israel, Shalom Bashim Yashai Barakathum to the brothers, Shalom Yahweh Shema Alathah Bashim Yashai to the sisters. We at the Isupk Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohana, and we are not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite group. Now, today we're going to be going over the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11, all the way to Genesis, give me 1 second. Genesis chapter 18, verse 16. If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't been attending our Sabbath services already, we're reading all the way from the book of Genesis, and eventually we're making our way to the book of Revelation. Right, we're reading all the way from the beginning. It's going to be 49 verses in the Hebrew and then in the English every single Sabbath service. With that being said, we're going to be getting started. Amadim, which means to stand, just me. La Yasha'ala, which means to Israel. Amadia Apanya Hakwadam, which means to rise and face the east. We're getting started with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. It's the Lord's Prayer, Abanawa, Shema Shemayim, Kodash, Ayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakavka, Tabaa, Barzaka, Ayah, Aisha, Baratza, Kowa, Ayah, Shemayim, Mathanawa, Makam, Ko, Yawam, Wasalaknawa, Kawathnawa, Wasalaknawa, Kawathinawa, Wala'a, Tabayanawa, Manasaiwan, Abal, Habashainawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwath, Wa'ala, Wa'taparath, Wa'lalamyam, Aman. Salakia. Now in the English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. So be it. Amen. Hakak, which is the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Babakasha, Lathananawa, Hakak, Laba'ah, Kal Makala, or Kal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamad Zarayan, Hakak, La'akwayim, Hamatim, Hakak, Abakawath, Hatama'ala, Lagarshun, Ba'ashum, Yahushai, for water, Aman. Now in the English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. This is bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Barak Lanawa Wayasha'ala Waha Bayat Saparim Barak Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for water Aman. What we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, please, bless us and Israel and the school in the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it. This is Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah, Ayenya, O, Hoim, Bayan, Yaba'ah, Azoya, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemaim, Wawadza, Waitan, Mwat, Wagalka, Ayanawam, Shemorka, Hana, La'ah, Inawam, Wala'ah, Yeshan, Shalmar, Yasha'ala, Yahweh, Shemorka, Yahweh, Tizalka, Al-Yad, Yamimka, Yawamam, Hashemash, La'ah, Yakaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal, Rai, Yashamar, Af Napashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazafka, Wabuafka, Maita, I will Now in the English, I will lift up my eyes into the hills. From whence cometh my help? My help comes from the Lord, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. The Lord is thy keeper. The Lord is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. The Lord shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. This is Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al Dami Alaka, Al Takarash, Wa Al Tashakwat, Al Kayahana, Al Yadika, Yahama Yawan, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yar Yamwa, Savada, Waita, Yaitazawa, Al Jazawanika, Amorwa, Lakawa, Manakakiram, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Shem Yasha'ala, Awada, Kaya, Nawa Atazawa, Laba, Yakadwa, Alika, Mariath, Yakarathwa, Hoya, Adawam, Wayashima Alim, Mawa'aba, Wahagorium, Gabal, Wamwan, Wamalak, Al-Shah, Amshabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Hayawa, Zorawai, Labunya Lawats, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadyam, Kasaya Sara'ah, Kayabdin, Barakar, Kwayashwan, Nasha Mawa, Bayan Dara, Hayawa, Daman, Ladama, Shayadamwa, Nadaya Mawa, Kairab, Bakazaba, Bakazabak, Kazamanai, Kar Nasayakamwa, Ashar, Amarwa, Niarashah, Anawa, Af, Nawaf, Alahayim, Alahaya, Shayadamwa, Kagogala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Slakia, Lapanya, Rawaka'a, Ka'ash, Dabaira, Yaira, Wakalahava, Valahat, Horiam, Kun, Taradama, Masairaka, Obasa, Wapathka, Tabalam, Malaa, Vaniham, Kuala One, Waya, Bakwashwa, Shimka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Bahawa, Ayai, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Badwa, Waya Dawa, Kaya Ata, Shimka, Yahawa, Labaka, Iwan, Alcohol, Ha Arataza. Psalms 83 in the English, Salaki. Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God. For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation. In the name of Israel, there be no more remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites, of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Saul also was joined with them. They hope in the children of Lot, Salah. Do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kison, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth, made their nose like a red, and like Zeid. Yea, all their princes, as Zabah and as Almunah, who said, Let us take ourselves the houses of God in possession. Oh my God, made them like a wheel, as a stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame set the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Lord, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all earth. This is the blessings in the Hebrew. Barakatah Yahweh, wa Yahweh Shai, Omiaka Allah, wa Alahayim, wa Nazabi'ah, Alawab Yahana, Ha Alawabim, Hasaranyim, Hakwazayoyin, Hakayayoyin, wa Akwathian, Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the water, Almighty. In the English, bless you Yahweh, and Yahweh Shai, and Michael, and the angels, Command Journey Yahana, the generals, the captains, the officers, the troopers, and the sisters. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. Okay. All right. All right, give me 1 second. I see a few people on YouTube. See, we got Kodash, Shalom on Isupk. Got daughter of a king, Shalom on Christ, sis, out of Georgia. And we have another sister out of Vegas, Shalom on Christ, Aquathim. All right, so we're going to be reading. If you're new to this, we're going to be reading from the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11. I'm going to be reading the first 7 verses. Well, actually, every 7 verses in the Hebrew and then in the English. Give me 1 second. And with that being said, all right. All right, so this is the book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11 in the Hebrew. Ya ma'ar la'ah ala'an Yahweh thana'ah ara'ah. This one. Ya la'ath ka'az. Ya, let's see. Ya kara'ath shamar. Yashaba'ai ya'al. I think it's Ashma'al. Ka'a Shama'a Yahweh all Anyar Yaka'a Yahweh Para Adam. Let's see. Yada'a Ka'al Ya'ard Ka'al Aya Ya'il Panya Ka'al Athar Yasha Ka'az Yatha Kwa Ra'a Ash Yahweh Hadar Ala'ah Atha All Ra. Let's see. Ra'a Ka'a Amara Kagum Hagum Hala'am Ra Ya'atha Akara'a Ya'am Al Ka'az Ra La Ra'a Slakia La R La Ka'ar Slakia Ka'ar La Laka'ar I Slakia Ya Ma'ar Anya Kaza'a okay, Kayaz Quadash Yama'a Kara'ad Yatha La'ad Hagar La Ba'ra'am Ka'az Yaqwa Ra'ar Abara'am so Abara'am Ash Ka'a Asha'ar. Let me see. Ya'i, Asha'a, Asham, Ashaya'al, Kwa, let's see, Ya Bara'am, Ka'az, Shaba'anyam, Shana'a, Lasha'a, oh, it's like Yasha'ash, Shan Ya'a, Kuala Na'ath, Hagar, Ath, Yasha, Yashama'al, La Mara'am, Ya'ara, Abara'am, Ka'a, Thasha'irayam, Shana, Ya Thasha'ai, Shanya'am, Yasha'am, Yahweh, all Hagar, Abaram, Slakia, Yabur, Wayab Ma'ar, Ala'am, Anya, all Shada, Slakia, Shada, Athala'am, Lapunya, Yahweh, Abraham. All right, so that's it for the first 7 verses. So now we'll be going through the English. Book of Genesis, chapter 16, verse 11. And the angel of the Lord said unto her, Behold, thou art with child, thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael, because the Lord hath heard thy affliction. So just a quick recap, right? Last class, we went over a few things. The last thing we went over was, which you probably heard before, one of the biggest obstacles that Sarai and Abram, this is before their names got changed, that they were facing was that they could not have a child. They were well stricken with age, and it was getting to that point of, they were feeling like they don't got that much time left. So Sarai, his wife, felt bad, and she told Abram, hey, I can't bear you a child, so you can go onto my handmaid and have sex with my handmaid, and she can bear you a child. Now, despite her telling Abram to do that, obviously that's not really what Sarai wanted. She was just kind of looking out for her husband, and she shunned her handmaid. She was very wroth with her and upset, really envious, if anything, because here's a woman who was not Abram's wife, and she's able to bear his seed, but she can't. So during this time, Hagar is her name, she fled. And the Lord, remember, it wasn't just, the Lord is the Lord of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Jacob is the favorite. Isaac was supposed to be the one later on who you'll find out who will be the father of Jacob. However, it was promised to Abram that he will be the father of many nations. All his children shall be blessed in some way. One of those children was Ishmael. So we'll keep going, right? Verse 12, and he will be a wild man. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. Now, for those of y'all who don't know, right, who is Ishmael today? I've taught this before. I just want to make sure y'all paying attention. Every nation is somebody today. I hope you understand that, right? This isn't fairy tales. I'm going to prove it to you in a second. Who is Ishmael today? I'm going to give y'all a second to answer. See if anybody answered. Arabic. Most High in Christ. Yes, this is of the Arabian race, right? Most High in Christ. So I'm going to go to the Hebrew definition of Ishmael. It means God will hear, right? Son of Abraham and Sarah's handmaid Hagar, and the progenitor of the Arabian peoples. So we do know that the Arabian peoples, right, they are Abraham's seed, but they're not us, right? Now it described Ishmael in the Bible, right? It said what? He is a wild man, right? I'll read it one more time for you. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him, and he shall dwell in the presence of all his brethren. You look at the Arabian people today, right? So-called, you could say even, I'll say Arabic people, right? They got beef with everybody. They fighting everybody. They go to war with everyone. Why? Because that is his nature. He is said to be a wild man. He is going to war with everyone. He don't like Jacob. He don't like us. He don't like Esau. I mean, nobody really likes Esau, but they don't like each other. They have issues with everyone. Again, showing you that this was already predetermined way before you knew of the Arabic people today, before you even knew of Arabic people and what's going on with them. Way thousands of years, it was already prophesied of the nature of Ishmael, right? Same thing with Esau. We'll get to that later. Y'all probably forget by then, but I'll touch that when we get there. Later on in Genesis, Esau is Shem. I know that sounds crazy, right? Esau is Shem. He's actually our brother, but he's estranged, right? Now, what was Esau? And remember, every nation was blessed with something, right? What was Esau blessed with? I say this a lot. I just want to see if y'all know. Esau, who are the Edomites today, so-called white people, what is their blessing? Because they do have a blessing. I just want to know if y'all know. Anybody is free to answer. And it's okay if you're not sure. You can put down anything, right? What is Esau blessed with? The sword. Most High in Christ, Kodash. I see you. The sword. And again, that shows the nature. Yep. Batharawana, the sword. Most High in Christ. Now, does that mean that Esau was blessed with a tangible sword? Like he was given a katana and he's like, here you go. No, that's not what that meant. Esau was blessed with the sword. Sword meaning what? War. Esau's very good at warfare. Before he was even blessed with the sword, it describes how Esau was. Esau was a hunter, while Jacob was a plain man. And that shows the nature of us. What do? Black people, so-called Hispanics, so-called Native Americans, right? We really don't want beef with nobody. You know what we do? Our nature is family-oriented. We just kind of want to mind our business. Like, think about it. You go to your slave, right? A lot of us go to our slaves. We don't even like our slaves half the time. I know I don't. I'm just being real with you, right? You go there. You might not like your slave, but what do? You kind of just mind your business, go about your day, do what you got to do so you can get home, pay your bills, spend time with the kids, husband, wife, auntie, uncle, family, whatever, right? You're a plain man or woman, right? While Esau is a hunter. You ever have that feeling, oh, why can't white people just leave things alone? Why can't Esau just leave things alone? Because it's not in his nature. Esau got to mess with something. He's a hunter. Think about it. A lot of these animals that have either went extinct or going extinct, who hunts them primarily? There might be other nations, right? But who is hunting them to the point of extinction? Chilling and drinking. Come on, I see you. Who does that? It's Esau. Because guess what? So-called indigenous people, they hunted. We hunted, right? When we were, granted, remember, we're not Hamites, but we did live amongst the Hamites, right? You don't think we was hunting? You don't think that we were trying to bring something to the household? We were. However, we did it because we needed to. You got to eat. The Native Americans, they knew right here, right? Bison. They hunted the bison. They ate the bison. They utilized the bison for weapons and clothing. However, they knew that, hey, this is of the land. This is what God gave us. So I'm going to use it as I need, but I'm not going to overdo it. Esau came in and did what? He hunted the bison damn near to extinction. Why? Because he wanted to cut off Native Americans' resources. I don't know if it's the black rhino or the white rhino, Salakia, somewhere in Africa. They hunted that damn near to extinction. Now you have all these endangered species. Why? Because Esau, he doesn't have a cap on his lid. You understand? What is this? Concert, tired, but here. Yeah, Most High in Crisis, right? My whole point of bringing that out is that's Esau's nature. Esau's very good at warfare. That's what he's good at. Think about it. You read all about European history is war. It's not just here in America. In Europe, war. Germany, war. When they were at war with the Jewish people, war. In South America, war. War everywhere. In Australia, war. Everywhere. Because that's who Esau is. Who made the atomic bomb? They got a movie called Oppenheimer, about a man who made a nuke. Who builds your missiles? Who builds all these fighter jets? Who comes up with these ideas? It's Esau. My point being is we're all blessed with something, right? Now, we were supposed to be blessed with being God's chosen people and, inheriting the land and ruling over everybody else because of our temperament and how we are. We don't want war. We'll go to war if we have to, but we don't want war. We don't want to commit mass genocide. It's not in our nature, right? That's why we were supposed to be the ones in rulership, not Esau. Remember, Esau gave up his birthright for some food. He didn't even care about it. And you see what's happening today. Esau's in charge, right? Esau is the superpower on the planet. Now we're living up under him, but he's the one that runs everything. And you see how the world is. The world is in shambles. Everything is just ridiculous nowadays. The cost of living continues to go up, right? I'm just talking about American problems, right? I'm not even going to talk about American problems. We can talk about the genocides that are happening all across the world. Our Haitian brothers and sisters, they're still fighting oppression. If you think, look, I'm tell you right now, you live in America, if you think we're oppressed, go to Haiti. They're being oppressed. Puerto Rico is being oppressed. They trying to gentrify Mexico. They have the audacity to go to their beaches, go to Mexican beaches, and try to tell them, this is what they said. I can't make this up. They were complaining that the food was too spicy. This is not a joke. I know we joke a lot about white people not seasoning their food, but they really were complaining that the food was too spicy. They were complaining about dating because apparently there's nothing but, it was white women complaining that there's nothing but Mexican men all over the place. You're in Mexico and you're complaining that there's nothing but Mexican men. You go to their beaches and you're telling them that their bands in their own land are too loud. Like, come on, man. Like, I mean, I'm not making this up, right? They tell you that Jamaica is dangerous and you shouldn't go there. They're still taking trips out to Jamaica and chilling on the beaches. Look, I can talk all day. You get the point, right? My point is, everybody blessed with something. Esau's blessed with the sword. It's more of a curse on everybody else, but that is his blessing, right? So we're going to get back to the book of Genesis, go to verse 13, right? And she called the name of the Lord that spake unto her, Thou God seest me, for she said, Have I also here looked after him that seeth me? Wherefore the well was called Bir Lahai Roi. Behold, it is between Kadesh and Bered. And Hagar bare Abram a son. And Abram called his son's name, which Hagar bare, Ishmael. And Abram was 86 years old. I want to say it's 46. I think it's 46 years old when Hagar bare Ishmael to Abram. Right? Now go to verse 17. And when Abram was 90 years old and 9, my brother is 99 years old now, the Lord appeared to Abram and said unto him, I am the Almighty God. Walk before me and be thou perfect. Now, we go over this quite a bit, right? You think that you can't be perfect. I'm going to say something to you right now, right? Anybody who comes into the Isupk and Commander General Yohana, you got to understand something. Keep it real with you. We're not perfect. Stay with me. We're not perfect. What are we striving for, though? We're striving for perfection because that's what the Lord requireth from us. Before you came into this school, what were you told? I know I was told it. You can be anything you want to be, right? You can be anything you want to be. It's a dream. As long as you set your mind to it, nobody's perfect. It's okay to make mistakes. Here's what the type of atmosphere that America or Esau in general, I'm not just going to say America, Esau makes this, right? Esau tells you that it is okay to be wrong. You get my point? It's okay to be wrong. If you were sexually assaulted at a young age and now you like the same gender as you, instead of getting help, instead of getting therapy, instead of apprehending the person who did this vile thing to you, right? What does Esau promote? He tells you it's okay. You can be that way, right? There's nothing wrong with you. They tell you to embrace your mental condition when someone wronged you, right? You don't believe me? What's his name? I think Saucy Santana, right? Saucy Santana. He's pretty famous. I'm pretty sure I know who that is, right? Now he is of the rainbow community, right? And he's like super flamboyant. Well, just recently he admitted that I guess when he was younger, he was sadly sexually assaulted by a family member repeatedly. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was at the age of 9. Very young, right? He was a child. I believe he had a relationship with a family member all the way up to the age of 16. I guess that's what the story is. I don't know all the details, but that's what the story is, right? That's 7 years. 7 years that young boy was violated, right? Look at him now. Y'all don't think that's not linked to something? Now, instead of getting him help, I'm pretty sure he didn't get the help that he deserved, that he needed. And Esau tells him to embrace who he is. They tell you fantasies like you are a woman born in a man's body, or you're a man, or vice versa, right? That's what they tell you. Now you got all these people out here wanting to be identified as anything else other than what they are. I can go outside right now and identify as a chicken nugget with a tutu, and you got to sit here and listen to me, because if you don't, you're discriminating against me. It's a hate crime. You're a bigot. Y'all don't think that's a mental illness? So there's something wrong with me if I start going around doing that, right? I need help. You need help, right? Here in the ISUPK and Commander General Hana, we know you're not perfect. We know you've been wronged. We know you probably sold your body at one point. We know that you probably bought women at one point. We know that you probably sold drugs, smoked weed, slept with heathen women. You probably celebrated pagan holidays. Y'all know how this goes, man. We say this every class, right? You were a filthy sinner before you came into the truth. Now you come in here, we tell you, okay, come as you are, but you got to change. You got to change. We endorse change. That's what we want. We want you. Yeah, nasty word. Look, I know. We want you to change, not for me, because God wants you to live. God wants you to change, right? So you can be healthy, not just physically, mentally, right? Spiritually, be healthy so you can thrive. You get my whole point? But Esau, again, he's blessed with the sword. So what does that lead to? Destruction. So he breeds destruction. And that's why we're here where we're at now, right? So now, what does the Lord require from you? To be perfect, to not be a filthy, disgusting sinner, to not do all the nasty things that you was doing before you got into the truth, right? You got to change. Now, if you don't want to do that, hey, look, there's the door. I'm a messenger. Y'all do know that priests are messengers, right? And a messenger is also an angel. Angels are also messengers. So what are we doing? My job to you, all the brothers in the school's job to you is to teach you. Now, we're going to lay it out for you. Now, what you choose to do with that, I mean, that's up to you, right? I know plenty of people as myself, we've decided to change to come into this truth and be better every single day, to be better than what we were yesterday. And if we are doing something wrong, correct ourselves. Hold each other accountable. That's what you're supposed to do anyway, right? But if you don't want to do that, hey, look, you can go twerk in the middle of the street somewhere if you want to. That's really what you want to do. You want to be a whore that bad? Hey, look, go do you. You want to be a whoremonger? Akim? Is that what you want to do? Okay, cool. Trust me, there's plenty of women who are willing to sleep with you. She don't love you though. You get the wrong one pregnant, you're gonna be paying child support. I promise you. The way this country's set up, it's gonna go into her favor. Now you're gonna be miserable. I'm just saying, you know. But with that being said, right, we're gonna read the next 7 verses. Give me 1 second. All right, so we're gonna read Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 17, verse 2, verse 9. As is verse 2. Wayathana, Barathya, Bayanya, Wabayanak, Wa'araba'a, Wa'awathaak,
Ma'ad, Waya Pa'al, Abara'am, Al Panya Wa'a, Waya Dabar, Athwa, Alahayim, La'amar, Anya, Hana, Barathia, Athak, Wahayayaf, La'aba, Salakia, Hamawan, Ga Wayam, Wala'a, Yakwara, Iwad, Ath, Imaka, Abara'am, Slakia, Abara'am, Wahaya'a, Shemak, Abara'am, Kaya, Abba, Hamawan, Gawa Yum, Natha Thayak, Waha Pariatha, Athak, Ma'ad, Da, Ma'ad, Wana Thayak, Laga One, Wama Lakawayam, Mama Ka, Yatazawa, Waha Komathia, Ath, Barayathia, Banya, Waba Yanak, Waba Yan, Tara'ai, Akarayar, Ladara Thum, Labara Ya'ath, Awalam, Laha Yawa'ath, Lara, La'alayam, Wala Raika, Akarayaka, Wanathaya, Laka, Wala Ra'aika, Akarayak, Ath, Arataza, Magarak, Magarakaka, Ath, Ko, Arataza, Ka, Naina. 1 second. La'a Ka'ath, Awalam, Waha Yatha'a, Laham, La'a Hayam, Waya Amar, Alahayam, All, Abraham, Wayatha, Ath, Barayathya, Thashamar, Atha, Watara'ika, Akaraya, Akarayaka, Lada Rathum. All right, that's it. All right, so the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 2. And I will make my covenant between me and thee, and will multiply thee exceedingly. Again, Abram was promised to, have many nations come up out of his lineage, right? And Abram fell on his face, and God talked with him, saying, As for me, behold, my covenant is with thee, and thou shalt be a father of many nations. As I've just said, neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be Abraham, or Abraham in the Hebrew, for a father of many nations have I made thee. Right? Now, this is what you should take away from this, right? How old was Abram? Well, Salakia, now Abraham. How old was he when his name changed, right? I want you to understand the significance of this. How old was he? How old was Abraham? It's in. I'll give you a hint. We just read it. How old was he? How old was Abraham, y'all? 90. Close. You're very close, sis. I'll tell you what, go back to verse 1. Genesis 17 and 1. How old was he? You're very close. 96. Close. Y'all close. Y'all right there. Read verse 1. Chapter 17, verse 1. Nobody knows? The sisters are there. Y'all real close. It's in the 90s. For time's sake, I'll just give it to you, right? Genesis chapter 17, verse 1. There you go. 99. There you go. Most High in Christ is. Yes. And it says in verse 1, and when Abram was 90 years old and 9, right? So let's put it like this. This brother is almost 100 years old, right? 100 I put, okay, 99 years. He was what? He was what we call in the school a young man, right? Y'all should know this. Those who've been in the school long enough, you know this, right? You come into the school, do you just get your name immediately? No, you don't. Why? Because you're being taught, right? You are we call you a young man, right? For a reason. It's not because you're literally a young man. Like Abraham was 99 years old. He old physically, right? You could be 80 years old and come into the school. We're still going to call you a young man. Why? It's not to belittle you. It's because you are new to the truth. Adam was new to the truth at one point. You understand that, right? Remember where it says, I'm paraphrasing, the Lord breathed life into him? The Lord didn't give him CPR. That's not what happened. No, what happened was he made the law known unto Adam. That's what happened. He breathed life in him. Now Adam's a new man because now he has all this knowledge. Same thing with you. You come into the school, what do we tell you? Do your 90 days, right? For sisters too, we tell you do your 90 days. Now, is it really 90 days? Could be. Could be 90 days. Could be 91 days. Could be 900 days. I don't know. I'll tell you what, I'll share with you, right? When I got my name, I was in the school for almost 9 months before I got my name, right? Now, some people, they come into the school and they get upset. You want to know why they get upset? I ain't get my name yet. Why haven't I got my name yet? I've been in the school for da-da-da-da. You ain't get your name yet, right? Some of y'all get so mad. What do? Y'all end up leaving. Think about how childish that is for a second. You leave the truth. You leave God's word because you didn't get a cool name. If that's the case, then you never deserved the name anyway. You came here for the wrong reasons. I'm telling you right now. Trust me, if you come here for the wrong reasons, you will be weeded out. I promise you. You will not last. Whether it's a day, a year, 10 years even. If you being wishy-washy and being fake, and you're in the truth for any other reason other than to serve the Lord, I promise you, you will not last. There have been brothers who have been in the school longer than me, and they are not here anymore. I pray you understand. All right. What is this? Shalom on Christ. So, what should you take from this, right? It doesn't matter how long it takes for you to change. You just got to change. That's what you're supposed to do. Abram was 99 years old. I'm not 99 years old. All right. That man got a good 70 years on me. Okay. He was a young man when he was traveling through Egypt and he was bringing Sarai and, that whole ordeal where, Pharaoh wanted his wife and he was lying to everybody about that being his wife. And it's his sister because he was afraid of people trying to kill him. And, that was the time for him to learn, right? Abram wasn't perfect yet. Abram wasn't where he needed to be yet for the Lord. Now that he is where he needs to be, mentally, spiritually, not physically, where he needs to be, now what happened? The Lord made his covenant with him forever, right? And his name shall no longer be Abram, but Abraham or Abraham in the Hebrew, because he is what? A father of a multitude or a father of many nations, which his name actually means in the Hebrew, right? So what you can take from this is it's never too late to change, y'all. All right. Put it like this. You are still alive and breathing on this earth. Meaning what? It ain't too late for you. For some brothers and sisters, sadly, it was too late for them. There are brothers who have died in the street. There are sisters who have died in the street, who were, wrongfully convicted of a crime or something. You never know, right? They're not here anymore. Their time was up. May they rise again and be better than what they were last time. You get what I'm saying? But you're still here. You're still here. Your mother's still here. Your father's still here. Your cousins, your uncles, your aunties, everybody, your wife, your husband, whoever, you're still here, meaning what? There is still time. There are brothers, look, man, there are brothers who have came into this school older brothers, right? Oh, slack it. Older brothers who came into this school and they passed on in this school. They died in the truth. I remember it was one brother, he had his Hebrew Academy jacket on in the hospital before he passed on. That brother's going to return. You understand that, right? There are sisters who served the Lord and they passed on righteously, right? Remember, physical death, that's temporary. You understand that, right? Resurrection is a real thing. You will come back. Now, the thing is, how are you going to come back, though? You understand? Whole point being is, it's never too late to change. If Abram can do it, this is a mighty man. This is a very mighty man. This is a man who was told to be the friend of the Most High at one point. You understand what I'm saying, right? I'm saying, hey, look, I was never given that title. I don't think anybody else has either, right? So this is a very righteous man. 99 years, and he was a young man. And then finally, after 99 years, he was blessed with his Hebrew name, and he was a new creature. He was a new man under the Most High, and a covenant was made with him. Put it like this: if it wasn't for Abraham, we would have died a long time ago. There would be no more black people. There'd be no more black people. All the Hispanics, yeah, there'd be Hispanics. There'd be a bunch of European Hispanics, Edomites. All right, there would be no, indigenous people of the Americas. There'd be no northern tribe. You understand? Hell, we might have not even made it through slavery. We probably all would have died there. The Hamites probably would have killed us. You understand? But thankfully, because of the actions of our forefathers and foremothers, by the way, we're here. You still got a fighting chance. All right. So don't take that for granted. All right. You're still alive and breathing, but you might not be alive and breathing tomorrow. You might only have one more week left. You might only have one more time to sin before the Lord says, all right, you know what? I'm done with him. We'll bring him back in the next 400 years. If I decide to bring him back. I pray you understand, right? Sister said, I never heard that explained that. Look, Most High in Christ, look, this is what we're trying to teach y'all, man. All right. So we're going to keep going, right? So this is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 5. Neither shall thy name any more be called Abram, but thy name shall be called Abraham, for a father of many nations have I made thee. And I will make thee exceeding fruitful, and I will make nations of thee, and kings shall come out of thee. And I will establish my covenant between me and thee and thy seed after thee in their generations for an everlasting covenant. Salakia. To be a God unto thee and to thy seed after thee, meaning this lasts forever. Me and you, we're going to pass on eventually. I don't know when. Hopefully it won't be anytime soon, but we're going to pass on eventually. You got your kids. Your kids are going to have kids. Your kids are going to have kids, so on and so forth, right? This is what we call generational wealth. You understand? White people have generational wealth. Other nations, Indians, East Indians, Chinese, Asians, they have generational wealth, an inheritance, if you will, that they want to bestow onto their next of kin, right? Why do you think like a lot of I'm trying to think of something. Okay, a lot of Indians, right? They come over to the Americas, right? And they come from nothing, right? I don't know if you ever been to India. India is dirty. India is that they got it rough out there, right? They come over here, boom, they want to make something of themselves. They're super ambitious. They want to go to school. They want to be a doctor. They want to be a head of a company, right? And they do it, right? Not just the man, but the woman too. They have kids. Now they flood their children with all that knowledge, right? Even if they don't want to have the same profession as their parents, they make sure that you will have a profession though. You will run a business. You will be a doctor. You will be a nurse. You will be a dentist. You will be a psychiatrist. You will have a profession, right? And they do. Then their kids, right? Now, you are all, now it's you, your kids, and your grandkids, and now they all work and own their own, I'm trying to think, they're all dermatologists, right? They have their own dermatologist company. Why? Because they made it known unto their next of kin, their seed, the next generation. Why? Because they don't just want it for them. It's supposed to last forever. We need to have that kind of mentality with each other. We don't have that. You know what we tell our people? You turn 18, get out of my house. Go get a job. Don't do that, right? Look out for your next of kin, right? What is this? Shalom on Christ, Yakuan, I see you. That's what you're supposed to do right now. But think bigger, though. Don't just think just a company, right? Which is good. I mean, we should be doing it. We should be doing that, right? Because the way we've been living is not good, all right? However, think bigger. Think with these scriptures. Make sure that your sons and your daughters, they know these scriptures. They know that they are God's chosen people, because the rest of the world, they just going to call them niggas. You're just black. You're an immigrant, right? They're going to demean you. They're going to put you down here, right? And it's all a mental state. You're down here. Don't let your children be that. Make sure they know who the hell they are, right? So they think differently. They can look at all these heathens and they eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster and octopus and beaver and God knows what else, right? But they know, you know what? I'm not going to eat that. I might die if I eat that. If I eat shrimp and I eat pork for God knows how long, I might have high cholesterol by the time I'm 25. All right. I might have diabetes by the time I'm 30. You understand? I'm going to have health issues. So let me stay away from that stuff. They worship pagan gods. Their God is not my God, though. That's another thing black people and Hispanics, we gotta lock in on that. You understand? Because I know Hispanics, y'all love that Virgin Mary. I don't know. We are very Christianized as a people, right? You'll praise a white Jesus that you know is fake, but y'all praise that. Don't look nothing like you, right? You dark skin or tan or whatever, your features are completely different than this white man, but you worship him. They tell you, I remember I seen a video, it was a teacher and it was a bunch of kids, and this shows you right here, it starts at a very young age, right? What do you see a lot in movies? I think we talked about this last week. They teach you when you die, you go to heaven. But how is heaven portrayed in the movies? In the movies, they show a bunch of white people with wings in diapers. I'm looking around. Where's all the black people at? I don't see not one Mexican, no Puerto Ricans. I don't see no Jamaicans. Where my Caribbeans and Latinos at? I don't see none of y'all. So I know the food ain't good up here. Where are all my people? It's all white people. All white angels. My point is, I forgot who it was. I need to start saving these damn videos. Yeah. But they told these young children about black angels. You want to know what those kids did? They laughed. You want to know why they laughed? Because they couldn't even comprehend a black angel. Angels aren't black, they're white. These are non-white children saying this, by the way. These are black and Hispanic children who are saying that. They couldn't fathom an angel that looked like them. You get what I'm saying? That, like, what is it? Yakuwan said, good night. The Virgin Mary got the Hispanic lost for real, sir. I know. Hey, look, they got all of us out. All right. Well, I still see weird videos of black churches. I seen one. I don't know what was going on. It's a whole bunch of men. This is gonna sound crazy. I kid you not. I don't make this stuff up, y'all. I be seeing this stuff. They're bent over, and it's like I don't know if he was a pastor or what. He had a belt, and he's like smacking them on the butt in a line. I'm like, what is this? Y'all supposed to be praising the Lord. Y'all praising cheeks. This is crazy. This is weird. But this is what they make you do, right? I got TD Jakes and stuff. It's crazy out here. One little white boy dies and came back saying everybody in heaven was black. Hey, look, yeah, baby white angel. Look, it sounds crazy, right? Because it's not real. You understand? It's not real. We're not supposed to be doing any of that stuff. Knowledge is power. I know y'all have heard that before. So we need to make sure that our children, they don't get brainwashed with the same stuff that we were brainwashed with. Don't let your child believe in little white baby angels. There is no Cupid. There is no Santa Claus. There is no Easter bunny laying eggs. Bunnies don't even lay eggs. I mean, think of that. There is no tooth fairy, right? There is no white Jesus. Don't let them believe in that, because that turns into self-hatred. Y'all do understand that, right? That's why you see a lot of our people, we don't like each other, but that stems from something. It's because we don't like ourselves. You see some black men saying that they don't like black women, which is crazy. Why? To dig real deep, it's because you don't even like yourself. You hate yourself. You don't like black women. Hispanics, hey, look, Salakia, hey, Akim, y'all ain't no better. I see y'all do the same thing. That colorism stuff, that needs to die. They need to cut that mess out. All right. You see our sisters out here who are, what was it? They had like the black wife effect on TikTok or something. It was a trend. And you see all these black women with non-black men. They are with white or Asian men. And they love them. They love them. They look like a cornball before they got with them. And now it's, oh, look at my handsome husband. Why can't you have that with your own people? Why can't you have that? Why am I still seeing Hispanic women as chasing white men? For what? These are your colonizers. The reason you speak Spanish is because they came over here. You get what I'm saying? It's self-hatred. You need to stop doing it, right? That's why it's important to make sure that the knowledge passes on forever. It's like how this covenant was made forever with Abraham. Abraham. Salakia. All right? So, let's see. We're going to keep going. Verse 8. And it says, and I will give unto thee and to thy seed after thee the land wherein thou art a stranger, all the land of Canaan for an everlasting possession, and I will be their God. So quick history lesson real quick. So before Israel was Israel, the place, not us, it was actually the land of Canaan. So the Canaanites, which is a Hamitic nation, it's like kind of towards like Egypt, like it used to be a part of Africa. It's like farther up, right? That was inhabited by the Canaanites. Long story short, we went to war with them. We took the land, right? Because that was what was supposed to be bestowed onto us. Just a quick little, recap on that. Verse 9, and God said unto Abraham, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore, Salakia, thou shalt keep my covenant, therefore thou and thy seed after thee and their generations, right? So just to, keep going, it's supposed to be meant forever, right? So now we're going to read verses 10 to 17 in the Hebrew. So I'm going to go to Genesis chapter 17, verse 10. 1 second. I see y'all lively today. Hey, Most High Christ. Christian church taught me that you go to heaven or hell. Sis, they don't tell you hell right here. Hell is right here. Hell is a condition, right? Hell, look, Hellenized. I know I've taught that quite a few times in my classes, right? Before I read this in the Hebrew, I'm quiz y'all real quick. What does it mean to be Hellenized? Right, just to show you that hell is a condition, real quick, right? I'm glad you brought that up, sis. What does it mean to be Hellenized? What does that word mean? In your own words. You don't got to give me the textbook definition, just in your own words. Let's see. Anybody know what Hellenized is? Let's see. The condition you live in. Okay. To be like the nation you are in. I'll take it. Yes, to be like the nation you are in. When you read the book of Acts, right? Was it Cornelius, right? You read a lot about Gentiles. Now, we broke this down plenty of times again. This is why it's important to know the difference. Y'all hear that word Gentile? Usually it means somebody of another nation, heathen, right? Well, Gentile also means you're a Hellenized Israelite, meaning what? You're an Israelite by blood, yeah, but you've adopted and conformed to the customs of another nation. So in the eyes of the Lord, you are a Gentile. Yeah, I hope that makes sense, right? Like today, we would be considered, some of us would be considered Gentiles, not us in the truth, but if you're in the world, you're considered a Gentile. Why? Because you're American. You're American, right? Doesn't matter what race you are. If you're born in America, you are American. All right. If you're Latino and you're born in, let's say, even the word Latino, like that's a byword. Like that comes from Latin, meaning what? White again, right? Spain, Spaniard. Our indigenous brothers and sisters, like just to put it like this, right? We say that the ISUPK is the home of all so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Here's the cool part, though. A lot of Latinos are Native. Y'all understand that, right? And a lot of Latinos are also Black. They're just called Afro-Latino. Even the Caribbean, Afro-Caribbean, right? Afro-Cuban. Stuff like that, right? They're all bywords. We're all the same people. We just got colonized differently, right? There's no difference between a Mexican and a Salvadorian, right? There's no difference between a Dominican and a Puerto Rican, right? Just different locations. That's all it is. Exactly. That's a color. Black is a color. You're a color. That's what we got reduced to. I'm Black. That's it. I'm really Jamaican, but even with that, Jamaican is a byword, right? And here, nobody care about none of that stuff. You Black. You're Latino. You're Hispanic. You're Native. It's all bywords. Right? Let's see. So, Slaggy, with that being said, the water for answering that, right? So now we all know what Hellenized is. Again, showing that hell is a condition. It's not a fiery burning pit underneath the surface where you go to if you're a bad person. No, it's right here. You ain't gonna burn down there. You're gonna burn right here if you don't get right. Salakia, right? That being said, let me see. We're gonna continue. Genesis chapter 17, verse 10 to 17 in the Hebrew. Ta'ah barayatha amar thashamara banyanya wabayanak wabayabika taraika akareka hamalak lakum call takar wana malatham ath bashar ira thalakam wayaha la wa'a Baryath, Banya, Wabayan Kayam, Waban, Shamanath, Yamawa, Lakam, Kal, Takar, Lada, Rath, Yakam, Yala, Yada, Bayath, Wama, Panath, Kasapa, Makar, Bun, Nakar, Ashar, La'a, Mataraika, Hawa'a, Hamawa, Yama, Wa, Yalaad, Bayath, Wama, Quanath by Paka. Let me see. Waha Yatha'a, Baraya, Thaya, Babasha Rakama, Laba Rathai, Slakia, Laba Ra'a, Bariath, Awalam, Waira, Takar, Ashar, La'a, Yamawa, Ath, Bashar, Ira, La, Thamwa, Wanakara, Tha'a, Hana, Quash, Hahawa'a, Maya, Ath, Bar Ta Thaya, Hakar, Waya Ma'ar, Alahayam, All Abraham, Shara, Asha, Tha'ak, La'a, Thakara'a, Ath, Shama, Sharaya, Kata, Shara'a, Shama, Waba, Rakathaya, Atha, Wanam, Nathama, Uslakia, Natha, Thaya, Mamana, Laka, Ban, Waba, Rakathaya, Wahaya, Tha'a, Lana Ya, Tha'a, Lana Wa, Yum, Malak, Ya, Iba, Wum, Mamana. All right, verse 17. Waya pala abura'am al panyawa waya tazaka kwa waya ma'ar bala baya halabaan maha shana yawalad wa'am shara'a habath thashayam Shana Thalada Y Ya Ma'ar Abraham or Halahayim Lawa Yasha Neshamayo Yakaya. Oh, Slakia. Verse 18. Slakia. All right, so that's it for that. So the verses 10 to 17, chapter Genesis 17. This is my covenant, which ye shall keep between me and you, Slakia, me and you, and thy seed after thee. Every man child among you shall be circumcised, and ye shall circumcise the flesh of your foreskin, and it shall be a token of a covenant betwixt me and you. And he that is 8 days old shall be circumcised among you, every man child in your generations. He that is born in the house or bought with money or any stranger, which is not of thy seed. Slacky. Now, okay, before I continue with that, right? So it says, and bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed. So there were times we had servants, right? No difference in today, right? It's just now a lot of us wear the serpent, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to what was said. It says, we're talking about circumcision amongst men, right? Amongst men who are coming from Abram's lineage. Okay, there's no Israelites that exist yet, right? But we know that we come from Shem, we come from Abraham, right? So it was always a custom to, circumcise the male children, right? But it also says, or bought with money of any stranger, which is not of thy seed, meaning what? Under our rulership, right? Even the heathens, you're going to be circumcised. Now, I know you're probably wondering, okay, well, what significance does that hold? What that should show you is when it is our time, and it will be our time, we got to make sure that it comes expeditiously, though. When we rule, people are going to follow our customs. You understand? Think of it like today. We celebrate Christmas. Not us, but brothers and sisters in the world celebrate Christmas. Why? Because the white man celebrates Christmas. We don't even know why we celebrate Christmas. We just do it because everybody else does it, right? You follow the herd. All right? We speak English. English is like the most common language across the whole world, right? It's like the universal language. English, well, it's a European language. But all these other nations speak English, right? A lot of people come to America or the Americas, celebrate pagan holidays. Ain't got nothing to do with them, right? You got Chinese people celebrating Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving ain't got nothing to do with y'all. Really, we know that that's the genocide of, the damn near genocide of Native Americans. These people Chinese. What are they celebrating that for? You got white people celebrating Juneteenth. Like, you get my point? So we live in a world now where everybody is catering to Esau. Even with, for my nerds out there, right? Anime, don't get me wrong, I love Dragon Ball Z, right? When Goku powers up and becomes a Super Saiyan, what does he look like? That man got blonde yellow hair, white skin, and blue eyes. Naruto is supposed to be based off Japan, right? Naruto is a white boy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Why do you think that is? The Japanese will admit it to you. It's to cater to a Western audience, meaning what? It is a lot easier to associate with something that resembles you, right? Imagine if Naruto was black. I mean, we would love it. I mean, we like Naruto anyway, but we would love it even more. But it does not cater to white people. That's a black boy. That boy don't look like me, right? Goku don't look like me. I can't watch it. A lot of these animes, right? You would think they look more Asian. Some of them do, but the more popular ones, they look more Westernized, meaning what? They look a little bit more European. They have features that are European because they're catering to a Eurocentric society. Why? Because Esau runs everything. So there will come a time where we are going to rule everything. We got to work towards that, though, right? It's going to take time. I don't know how much time, but it's going to take time, right? We got to get there somehow, some way, and it starts here. Then, Lord, behold, we live in an era where everybody's catering to you. Now, all these other nations, they're making all these TV shows and stuff, but now you got more Black and indigenous or Latino looking people, right? Speaking Hebrew, doing customs that favor us, right? That's what you would want anyway, right? There is not going to be any more OnlyFans. You understand? It's not going to be any more prostitution. It's not going to be any more you sisters having, what is it? The link tree in your bio, right? That anybody can access, even children, by the way. All right. You brothers out there, y'all not going to be able to indulge in any of that stuff anymore, right? Because we're not going to allow it anymore. You go to, I'm trying to think. Okay, I've been to the Saudi Emirates. That's where like Dubai, Bahrain is, right? Do you know that pornography is actually illegal? Can't find it, right? That's just an example. It's going to be illegal when we rule. There's not going to be any of that. That's going to stop. You understand? There's not going to be such thing as divorce, right? There's not going to be anything like, oh, you could leave your man and, if you didn't sign a prenup, then you get half of his earnings, or, now they got spousal support. They got all types of stuff, right? It's all damaging. We're not going to have any of that stuff, right? Because we're going to be in rulership. So that's what you should take away, just something to take away from that scripture, right? Let me see something. Yep. All right, so go to verse 13. He that is born in thy house and he that is bought with thy money must needs be circumcised, as I just said. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant. And the uncircumcised man, child whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from his people. He had broken my covenant. Something to take away again, right? We're supposed to follow the Most High. We're supposed to follow everything of the covenant, right? Meaning you could think you're the most righteous person in the world. That's cool. You still smoke cigarettes though. You come to Sabbath service. You come to all the high holy days. You don't eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. You don't celebrate pagan holidays. You do everything right, but you smoke cigarettes. You smoke weed, right? You're not going to make it into the kingdom of heaven. I promise you. If you don't believe me, read about Moses. Moses and Aaron, right? Moses did everything right. He did one thing wrong, though. For the sake of time, he was supposed to speak to a rock, and the Lord was supposed to make water come out of it. You want to know what Moses did? Moses got tired of everybody complaining about everything. So you want to know what he did? He struck the rock, and water came out, right? Now you're probably wondering, like, well, what does it matter? The water came out. Here's the problem. They started praising Moses. Our people have always been very thick-headed, right? We're hard-headed. At that time, a lot of us, we didn't even believe in the Most High, right? So, but guess what? We believe what was in front of us, though. That's why Aaron built that golden calf to worship, because we were so ignorant. We were like, we need something tangible, something that I can feel so I can worship it, right? Not the everlasting God that I can't see, that I can't touch. I need a golden calf. Oh, Moses struck the rock. I now worship Moses. That wasn't supposed to happen. And guess what happened? Moses was not allowed. Moses couldn't come, right? Because he made a mistake. He didn't listen. Don't let you be that, all right? Do everything you're supposed to do. Everything you're supposed to do. Look, if you messed up today, that's cool. Hey, look, Lord, that's between you and the Lord. But you're alive tomorrow, right? Hey, show the Lord, okay, you know what? I know what I did was wrong. Let me fix that. Let me not do that again, all right? I messed up. I smoked weed today. Don't smoke weed tomorrow. You slipped up and you wanted to go to a birthday party. And you over here singing and dancing and singing happy birthday because you just in the spirit, right? You realize it was wrong. Hey, look, whatever punishment the Lord gives you, that's between you and him. But if you're still alive and the Lord spares you, And you better take that. Don't take that for granted. You better learn, hey, like, you know what? Salakia, you better pray. Don't do it again. Don't do it again. All right? You shouldn't do it at all, but don't do it again. I pray you understand, right? Stiff-necked. Conscious, we're stiff-necked. Be scared straight. That's what you're supposed to, right? Quadash, Proverbs 11:5, if I could, sir. Yeah, I got time real quick. I got you. Give me 1 second, Quadash. Who said Proverbs 11:5? All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 5. Thy righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. Hey, I mean, it's pretty simple, right? Matter of fact, I'll read the next one for you. Verse 6. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. Meaning what? Look, I don't know how many other ways I got to say it for you. Get right while you can, all right? Don't wait till the last minute, because you never know when the last minute is your last minute. You don't know. And I want you to understand, like, don't even get into the mindset that, like, oh, I could still sin and I can do this, like, knowingly, right? It's okay. I still got time. Don't think like that. Think like, I need to get right now. Because the way the world is going, the Lord is working, right? You never know what could happen tomorrow. You might wake up, I don't know, there could be an earthquake, California separated from the rest of the world. You don't never know. Russia might decide to throw a bomb and start shooting missiles at America, or vice versa, right? Y'all saw what happened up in Palestine, right? I've seen the videos. They destroyed that place. Destroyed. Men, women, and children gone. That could be you. All right. You think it's that? If you don't think it's bad, okay. Hey, for my Levite brothers and sisters, right? And I'm gonna say for my Dominican brothers and sisters too. Anybody who might be watching this, right? Or might watch it in the future. Y'all on the same island, Hispaniola, y'all still there, right? I know y'all got beef every now and then, but you know what's going on, right? Levi is going through it, right? They are fighting to live. You understand? You think Chicago bad? Haiti is Chicago times 2. So you better get right while you can, because you never know when your last minute is your last minute. I pray you understand, right? So let's keep going. Let's see, verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, for the sisters, right? But Sarah shall be her name. And let me see real quick, right? Just so I can read y'all the Hebrew definition, right? Because Abraham means father of a multitude or father of many nations, as it was already said, right? So we're going to go to Sarah in the Hebrew. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Sarah or Shara, Slakia in Hebrew, which means noble woman, right? So Sarah or Shara, right? She been with Abraham this whole time. Hey, look, she was a ride or die for Abram. Even when he was making mistakes and he was telling him to do the wrong, hey, look, she still stuck by him though, right? When he was a young man. And I guess in a sense, hey, call her a young woman, if you will. And guess what? She found grace in the eyes of the Lord. Why though? I'm gonna quiz y'all. Why did Sarah find grace in the eyes of the Lord? Hint, hint, it has something to do with Abram or Abraham, Salakia. Why did Sarah find grace in the Lord? She was his blood. Not quite. I'm gonna give you a hint. The Lord deals Okay, when you read all throughout the Bible, most of the time, what does the Lord do? He deals with men. She believed her husband. There you go. She believed her husband. Yes, she was obedient to her husband. Now, let's bring it all together now, right? Abraham was a just man. He wasn't some deadbeat baby father who was selling drugs and not seeing his kids. He wasn't a wicked person, right? Right? She didn't follow that kind of man. She followed her husband who was righteous and who feared the Lord and served the Lord. And because she submitted to her husband and did what he told her to do, and she stuck by him through everything, she also found grace in the Lord. I pray you understand, right? So for the Akwathium out there, right? If you already got, let's say you already got a man, and you know he's a brother in the school, or he's a man who's trying to be righteous, right? He's a young man in the truth, right? And he's trying to do better. He's trying to not just do right by him, but do right by you. Listen to that man. Be his peace. All right. Don't sit here and try to fight with him all the time. Right? Y'all won't get into it. It's normal. All right. You know, hey, look, Abram and Sarai got into it a few times. It's normal. Stick by him though. When you know he's doing right, and trust me, you look, I hear women's intuition a lot. So hey, if that women's intuition is true, you know you got intuition if your man is doing right. If you know he's doing right, that's your husband. You chose to lay with him. Hey, sex is marriage. You chose to lay with him. He chose to lay with you. So now you are his responsibility, and you got to stick by him. So with that being said, make it easy, right? Make it easy on yourself. Listen to your husband, right? Now, of course, if your husband tells you to go jump off a bridge, you should probably take him to counsel. Don't do that. But if he's being righteous, right? And you know he's trying to be righteous. You know that he's, upholding all the law, statutes, and commandments. You know that he's trying to do well, right? Even if he stumbles a few times along the way, and he might. Hey, Abram, he stumbled. You understand? He stumbled. He made an error. He had a moment of weakness in Egypt. He got corrected for it. The Lord had to correct him. But did Sarai leave him? Did she say, you had a weak moment. I don't like you no more. And left him? No. She still stayed with him all the way through. And guess what? The Lord, he noticed that. Don't worry. Hey, look, Sarah didn't go unnoticed neither. And we're going to read why. All right, we're gonna read how, Salakia. And Salakia. Actually, yeah, I can read verse 16 now. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her. And look, Abram didn't make the many nations by himself. He had a woman with him, a righteous woman with him, right? And remember, they wanted a son so bad. This is the same woman that was barren. She couldn't give him a kid. And she was righteous and stuck by him. And like I said, it didn't go unnoticed, because what did the Lord do? He blessed her with the one thing she wanted more than anything else. A child, a son at that, right? She got that. Let me see. Go to verse 17. Then Abram fell upon his face and laughed and said in his heart, shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah that is 90 years old? So now we know the age of her. So Sarah was 90. Abraham was 9. It says 100, but 99. It's an estimate, right? He's almost 100 years old. So he's saying, like, you mean to tell me that me and my wife, who are well stricken with age, we're going to have a son? And you see like his reaction, like Abraham, he fell on his face. He's like, he's being dramatic. Ain't no this, but he's overwhelmed. Like, what? Like, you're going to give us a son? I get to have a son with my wife? No disrespect to Hagar, but that was more out of love of his wife. But he really wanted kids with his wife. That's what he really wanted kids with, right? So now he's overwhelmed with all these emotions. Like, how could this be, right? So we're going to keep going. So now we're at verse 18. 1, 2. We're going to go to verse 24, right, in the Hebrew. Give me 1 second, y'all. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 17, verse 18 to 24 in the Hebrew. All right, so it's verse 18. Waya Amar Abraham all ha'alahayim lawa'a alawa yashama'al yakaya lapan ya'aka Waya Amar alahayim abal shara ashathaka. Salakia, 1 second. Salakia. Yala da'ath baka ban wakara'ath af shamwa yakwataza ka'aka wahakwa ma'afya af bariyaf afwa labariyaf awalam lataraiwa akarawa'a wala yama'il shamai tha'ak hana bariyafa athwa waha pariyafya Ama'ada Shanayam Aishar Nasha'ayama Ya Wala'ad Wana'ath Wa'a Laga Wa'a God Salakia Ga Da Wa'o Waya'ath Barathya Aqua'om Ath Yakataza Kwaka'a Thalad Laka Shara Lama Wa'id Hata Bashana Ha'a Kara'ath Wayakol Ladabar Athwa wa Ya'ila Alahayam Maila Abraham Waya Kwaka'a Abraham Ath Yashamail Banwa Waya'a Ko La Yala Yadwa Bayath Wai Uslakia Wa'ath Ko Mana Manquana'a Kasa Pawa Ko Takar Panyasha Bayath Abraham Wayama'al Ath Bashar Iralatha'am Baitaza'am Waya Hata. Let's see. Kayashar Dabar Athwa Alahayim. Verse 24. Waya Abraham Khan Thashamayam Wathashai Shana Bahalwa Bashar Irala'athwa. All right, that's it for verse 24. Give me 1 second. Okay. Verse 24. So, Book of Genesis, chapter 18. Chapter 17, verse 18. And Abram said unto God, "Oh, that," let's see. And Abraham said unto God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee." So, okay. Remember, he already had Ishmael, right? So, he's kind of, I don't know if concerned is the right word, but he kind of, okay, he already has a son, but it's just not by his wife. Not his, how do I word this? It's not by Sarah. I'm not going to say his wife because Hagar would also technically be his wife because he had sex with her, if that makes sense, right? But the Lord promised him another seed, right? And let's see. And Abram said unto God, "Oh, that Ishmael might live before thee." And God said, "Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him." Now, he said with his seed after him, not after Ishmael, after him. And Isaac in the Hebrew means he laughs, because, of course, Sarah and Abraham, they laughed at the idea of, we're about to have a kid. We old as hell. I got grays, Hey, look, we haven't even, done it in a while, but we about to have a kid. Oh, okay. So that's what his name means. He laughs. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly, 12 princes shall he beget, and I shall make him a great nation. Meaning what? He's still going to get his blessing. That's what I brought up earlier. Ishmael still gets his blessing. It's just not the same blessing as what Isaac and Jacob have, right? And it says right here, verse 21, but my covenant, again, his covenant will I establish with Isaac, not with Ishmael, but with Isaac. So this is why we always bring up, when you actually read the Bible and you read of Abraham's many children, because it's not just Isaac and Jacob. There's other children that come of this as well, right? There was always a favorite. That's why when you read the Bible, it's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Abraham, Ishmael, Isaac, Jacob, and all these other people, and Esau, right? Of a specific lineage all throughout the Bible. So when you get into these arguments with these Christians, right? And these Christians, look, they're going to try you. They're going to try you. Why? Because they love everybody. Christians love everybody. The only thing that's worse than, I hate to say this, than an Edomite Christian is an Israelite Christian, a so-called Black Hispanic or native who was raised under the Christian doctrine, false Christian doctrine, right? And they're taught to love everybody. Now, remember I brought up the mindset of a lot of our people today outside the truth? A lot of us suffer from self-hatred. Matter of fact, for the brothers that went to DreamCon, right? DreamCon, for those of y'all who don't know, it's kind of like, I guess you could say like pop culture, like anime, video games, stuff like that. It's a lot of brothers and sisters that go though, right? I actually want to go someday. But my whole point is they did interviews. Now these brothers, they interviewing some of these people, and it was a sister, I remember specifically. This is a Black woman, right? Hair out, got the fro out. It looks like she's embracing who she is, right? Well, they asked her, what's your least favorite race? Without hesitation, she said, Black people. And I am so thrown off because I'm like, wait a minute. You're Black. You're at DreamCon where there's Black cosplayers. You're talking to a brother who's Black. You get what I'm saying? You see the mindset though, right? She hates herself. And because she hates herself, she hates her own people. That's what that is, right? That is a problem that we have today, right? But with that being said, not only do we hate ourselves, we love everybody else. We love everyone else. Y'all, a lot of y'all love white people. Y'all love Asian people. I'm gonna be real with you. A lot of y'all love Asian people too. Hey, look, I like anime, but I ain't Japanese. You understand? I understand that those are still another nation. Some of y'all love them so much, y'all want to be them. Y'all want to be them. I'm seeing Black women, they going for Japanese men now. They getting treated weird. It's like a weird fetish. You want to be Japanese so bad. You're not Japanese. I understand that the anime is cool and everything, but you're not Japanese. You're not white. You're not East Indian. Okay. You're not African. You're not. I know that throws off people. You're not African. You're not a Hamite. Trust me, them Hamites will definitely say that to you, right? Y'all ever seen Meet the Blacks? Well, Mike Epps. I don't know if y'all seen that. There's a scene, they got Michael Blackston, and they talking smack to each other, whatever. There's a line that Michael Blackston says, and he's like, "Oh, my people sold them." It's the scene. Y'all seen the movie, right? For those who seen the movie, right? There's a scene where it's what's his name, Cronut, and whoever Michael Blackston was. They got tied up, and they're in this room, and it's like KKK members, I guess you should say, right? And the KKK member is about to do what he about to do, right? Michael Blackston, who is a Hamite, is trying to pledge his allegiance to the white man, saying, "Oh no, take me with you. Like I'll kill him for you." Right? It's all supposed to be a joke, right? But then he also says, "Oh yeah, like no, my people sold y'all in slavery. We sold them out of the land." And it's supposed to be like a little joke, but when you really know history, yes, that is what happened. It might be in a joke, but he knows that him and us, we are not the same. We are not the same, all right? Yeah, we both got dark skin. Yeah, we might have inhabited a continent together. We might have intermingled with each other. Yeah, that's true. But we are not the same people just because we look a little similar. All right? It's not the same. So with that being said, stop trying to be like everybody else and be who you are. Right? Let's go back to let's see, Genesis 17 and let's see, verse 21. My covenant will I establish with Isaac, which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham. And Abraham took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among the men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin in the selfsame day as God had said unto him. And Abram was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. Again, it's never too late to change. He was that old, but he's still doing what the Lord told him to do, right? So now we're going to keep going. Let's see, for the sake of time, I'm about to speed this up a little bit. Let's see, verse 25. So we're going to start Genesis chapter 17, verse 25. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. To Genesis 18 and 4. Let's go to 18 and 5. Verse 25. Waya Shema'il Banwa Ban Shalash Aishara Shana Baha Mawa Ath Bashar I Ira Lathwa Baitazam Baitazam Hayawa'am Hata Lamawa'ar Abara'am Waya Shemal Banwa Wakar Anasha Bayath La'ad Yalayad Salakia Bayath Wama Kwanath Kasataza Ma'ath Ban Nakar Wamalawa'a Athwa Waya Ra'a Ahawa Allah Yawa Yahawa Balanawa Mamara'a Wa'a Yashab Pathaka Haho Bakam Hayawam Waya Sha'a Ayan Yawa Ba Waya Ra'a Wa Na'a Shalasha Anashayam Nataza Bayam Ailawa Waya Ra'a Waya Rataza Salakia Laka Ratha'am Mapa Thaka Haya'or Waya Shaf Kawa Harataza Waya Amar Adunya Ama Na'a Matazatha'a Kana Bayanaka let's see, All Na'a Thiba'ar Ma'il Abadka Yakawa Na'a Maita Mayam Warataza Wa Rakataza Wa Ragal Yakam. Let's see, Waha Shanaiwa Takath Hayataza Wayakawa Patha Lakam Wama'ai Labakaam Akar Thabara'am Kaya Al Kanai I Bartham Al Abadkam Waya Amarwa Kan Thaisha Kashar Nabarath. Okay. So now we're going to go verse 25 to verse Genesis chapter 17, verse 25 to Genesis 18 and 5. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. And the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised and Ishmael his son, and all the men in his house born in the house and bought with money of the stranger which were circumcised with him. Again, even the men who were not of his seed, not even his children, still obeyed and did what was required of Abraham. Slakia. Let's see, verse 8, Slakia, chapter 18, verse 1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, so do as thou hast said. All right, so I'll finish the last. Let me see. I might just go to verse. So I'm in verse 5. So I'm just finish it up. We'll go to verse 16. So we'll go 6 and 16. We'll just wrap it up, right? Genesis chapter 18, verse 6 to 16. Waya ba'ar aka ya'am alahaya or shara ya'a ma'ar mara'a shalash I abraham kwa ma'ach tala'ath ashaya ya'ai sha'ar I sha'a I para'ath la'ath ya la'al Hakwapar Rai Abaraam Ya Pa'ath Ka'adslakia Kan Kai Kaparar La'am Ya Tazar Ya Tha'an Or Hana'ayar Slakia Wa ma ra'a la'ai sha ya'af atha'am yakwa'ak ama ra'a la yaka la'a akalab ya yaka'an ha kapa'ar ashar aisha ya tha'an la panyaham ya ra'am mad I la'am fa ka'af ha yala'am la ma'ar ala yam ayath shara asha'ath ashathar yasha ya'ai ma'ar hana ha'al la, let's see, ya ma'ar sharab asharab or ya'an ka'aith kaya, let's see, kaya lashara'ai ashatha'a ya shara'a shaba'aith pathaka, let's see, haya'al la yaka'a ikara'a ya ra'am ya abara'am yashara'a ta zana ra'am ka yara'am ka rab mara'am, let's see, kadal la ya'an la shara'a arach kanashama'am yatha kwana'a shara ka kwana'a la mara kara'ai bala'athya ha'ara'a la'a idanya danya tazakwa'a. Let me see. Let me see. Ma'ar Yahweh or Abraham la Ma'a I Tazakwa'a Shara la Ma'ar Ka Ka'ab, Amra'ab, Ala'ad, Mayam, Tazakwana, Kayapala'a, Mayahawa, Dabar, let me see, Dabar, Lamara, Ayad, Aisha Ra'am, Alayan, Ka'ai, Kaya, Lamasha Ra'a, Ka'an, Ba'an, Ban, Salakia, Yatha Ma'ash, Shara'a, La'a, Taza Kwatha'a, Ka'a, Yana'a, Yara'ah, La Ba'ar, La'a, Ka'ar, Tazaqanath, Tazaqa'ath, verse 16. Yakora'ah, Ma'ashab, Ha'ai na Ya'ash, na Yasha'ab, Ya'ashapwaqa'a, I'll Bana. Let's see, Manda'am, Ya'ara'ab, Hala'am, I Ma'ar, Lasha La'am. That's it. All right, so let's finish it up. Genesis chapter 6, Salakia. Genesis chapter 18, verse 6. And Abraham hastened unto the tent unto Sarah and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal, knead it and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it to a young man, and he hastened to dress it. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them, and he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life, and lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, and was behind him. And it's like, now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken with age, and it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman. Meaning, pretty much, again, what I explained earlier, Sarah is well stricken with age. She does not think that she can bear a child, especially now since she hasn't been able to bear a child this entire time. Therefore, Sarah laughed within herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also. So again, that name, Isaac, he laughed, right? Both Abraham and Sarah laughed at some point at the thought of, we can have a child now. It's like in disbelief. Verse 13, and the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of surety bear a child, which I am old? Verse 14, Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed, I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Verse 15, Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid. And she said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. So pretty much, the Lord checked her, pretty much, like, what are you laughing for? Like, it was almost like an insult to the Most High. Like, I did all these great things, and you think that it is impossible for me to make it to where you can have a child? So Sarah kind of had to like recollect herself and be like, wait a minute, like my bad. Like, she tried to deny it because she was fearful. She was fearful. Like, she didn't want to anger the Most High. But pretty much the Most High is just reassuring her, like, look, there is nothing too complicated for me. The Lord is the Lord thy God. He is God. This is the Most High we're talking about. There is nothing that he cannot do. I pray you understand. And this last verse, and the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom, and Abram went with them to bring them on the way. All right. So now that'll be the end of this class, right? For the sake of time, I have to end it. So thank you for everybody tuning in. Tawada definitely had a lot of participation today. Tawada for everybody that tuned in. I'm gonna be expecting that a little more. I'm just letting y'all know right now. All right. Because this is what class is for, right? We are not the Christian church. We're not just going to sit here and talk and, y'all just listen. I'm going to do a little jig and shake a tambourine and catch the Holy Ghost. We don't do that up in here. This is a class, We have classes, and in classes, what should you do? If you don't understand something, you ask questions. It is also our jobs to explain it as thoroughly as we possibly can so that you have understanding. If you have a problem with the ISUPK, go to a Christian church then if that's what you want to do. But I promise you, I'll put my whole paycheck on it. A Christian pastor cannot break down the Bible correctly like a brother can in the ISUPK under Commander Jimmy Honda. All right, there's an officer of 50 who can out-teach anybody in our out there in the world, right? I pray you understand, because we're going to teach you the truth of the Bible. So that being said, I'm going to end the class next week, so everybody knows before I end it. Next week, if I can find it, give me 1 second. We're going to be going over Genesis chapter 18, verse 17. We're going to go to Genesis chapter 19, verse 32. All right. So just everybody knows that'll be on August 24th. All right, next Saturday. All right. So with that being said, for the sake of time, shalom.